I still remember the first time I saw her like it was yesterday. The way the sunlight caught her hair, turning it into a halo of gold around her head. It was a moment charged with something I hadn't felt before, a pull, a spark, something that screamed this could be the start of everything. We locked eyes across the crowded room, and something inside me shifted. That night, I told myself that maybe, just maybe, this was the love I had been waiting for. We met by chance, or so it seemed. Our worlds collided on a rainy afternoon when I offered her my umbrella as she stood drenched by the bus stop. She laughed, that bright, genuine laugh that warmed the cold air, and we started talking. Hours passed unnoticed as we shared stories about our lives, our dreams, our fears. It felt like we had known each other forever, as if time had folded and stitched us together in that moment. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of emotions. We explored the city hand in hand, discovering hidden cafes, quiet parks, and little bookstores where we lost ourselves in dusty pages and whispered conversations. Every laugh, every touch, every glance was electric. I was falling hard, deeper than I ever thought possible, and it seemed she was too. We dreamed aloud about a future painted in bright, hopeful strokes. But beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to form, subtle but undeniable. I noticed how she sometimes pulled away when I tried to get closer, how her eyes would cloud over with something I couldn't name. I brushed it off as nerves or maybe her past catching up to her. I wanted to be patient, to give her space, because love, I believed, was about understanding and forgiveness. Then came the nights where silence filled the room instead of laughter. Our conversations became guarded, laced with tension and unspoken doubts. I could feel the distance growing, a chasm widening with every misread message and every missed call. It felt like we were speaking different languages, trying to connect, but failing miserably. The warmth that once enveloped us was replaced by a coldness I couldn't shake. One evening, after an argument sparked by a simple misunderstanding, she packed her things quietly. The look in her eyes was haunting, equal parts sorrow and resolve. I begged her to stay, to fight with me for what we had, but she shook her head, tears slipping down her cheeks. "Maybe we're just not meant to be," she whispered, and with that she was gone, leaving behind a silence that screamed louder than any words. In the days that followed, I wandered through our favorite places alone, haunted by memories of laughter and shared dreams. Every corner held a ghost of her presence, the scent of her perfume lingering in the air, the echo of her voice in the breeze. It was as if the city itself mourned with me, reflecting the emptiness I felt deep inside. I wanted to reach out, to undo the past, but pride and pain held me back. I found myself replaying every moment, every word, searching desperately for where things had gone wrong. Was it something I said, something I failed to do? The questions tormented me, keeping sleep at bay and hope flickering like a dying flame. I realized love wasn't just about passion and dreams. It was fragile, complicated, and sometimes painfully imperfect. Months passed, and the ache of her absence softened into a dull, persistent ache. Life moved on around me, but I felt frozen in time, caught between what was and what could have been. I tried to convince myself that I was better off, that maybe losing her was part of a larger plan I couldn't yet see. But deep down, I knew some part of me would always be waiting, holding on to the love that was lost. One day I found a letter she had left behind, tucked inside the pages of the notebook where we had scribbled dreams and poems. Her handwriting was shaky, heartfelt. She spoke of fear and hope, of wanting to heal and find herself before she could truly be with anyone else. Reading her words, I felt closer to her than I had in months, but the distance between us remained unbridgeable, a silent reminder of what we lost. Sometimes, in the quiet moments before dawn, I wonder if she thinks of me too, if she feels the same pull, the same bittersweet nostalgia that grips my heart. Maybe she's out there, searching for her own way back to happiness, just as I am. Or maybe, like me, she's learning to live with the absence, carrying the memory of a love that once burned bright, but slipped quietly through our fingers. I don't know what the future holds, or if our paths will ever cross again. But I do know this: the love we shared changed me in ways I can't fully explain. It taught me about vulnerability, about the courage it takes to open your heart even when the risk of loss is real. And maybe, just maybe, That is why the pain feels so profound, because what we had was something truly special, even if it couldn't last. As I sit here now, writing these words, I feel a strange mix of sadness and gratitude. Sadness for what slipped away, and gratitude for having known a love so intense it left an indelible mark on my soul. The night is deepening outside, and with it comes the quiet hope that someday, somehow, we'll find peace with what was lost, and perhaps with what still lingers in the spaces between us.